he's mentioned Emmett Till. You know, I grew up with the image of Emmett Till in my mind because they put, his mother was courageous enough for him to have an open casket. They put it in Jet magazine. And I remember growing up with that. And growing up in, you know, California, I was not so in tune to what was going on. I didn't know why people didn't want to sit on the back of the bus, because, I mean, you could drink wine on the back of the bus. You could turn your radio up. And so, I mean, the back of the bus belonged to, you know, to the thugs. So we were cool with that. And growing up in Los Angeles, low riding and gang banging, one of the rites of passage was to be able to say that you had boxed with the police. We kind of grew up with that attitude that we know we got to deal with these racist dogs that were going to be harassing us. And sometimes we would just see them and just break and start running because we didn't want to be hassled. So we grew up in that whole hostile kind of atmosphere. This whole prison, privatization of prisons, even the banksters are involved in the incarceration. If I got a private prison, it's no longer a rehabilitation center. It becomes the Hilton, and I want all of the rooms full, and I'm not interested in letting nobody out early because I get paid for full rooms. I was coming here and I was thinking about the word race. You know, we talk about racism, and Huey Newton told me that to really practice racism, you had to have an institution. And many of us might be prejudiced, and prejudice doesn't necessarily encourage, insinuate that there's some hate behind it. It's just like you prefer your prejudice over Chevrolets and Cadillacs. But we're living in a time now where the word racism is used in a very random kind of way. And if I'm in my pulpit, I'm talking about the race to be humble, the race to come to the foot of the throne of the Supreme and surrender ourselves to truth. Because the word race, when you think about it, it's really about competition. And it's not just a word that's used to talk about a bloodline. So when we start talking about race, we open up for us a subject that is competitive. It doesn't necessarily suggest to us that there's room for some coming together in terms of unity. I just wanted to drop that on you because it seems like to me that when we talk about Trayvon Martin, this hope-to-be policeman, a police reject that killed this young man is not really a redneck white boy from Mississippi. Nobody really talks about that. But it's a certain consciousness that he has that puts him in the same place as racist Peckerwoods out of Mississippi, Alabama, and Los Angeles. It is South, y'all. Bobby Seale said any redneck from Alabama that can pass the civil service test today can kill me tomorrow with a badge and a gun. So I think that there's something that needs to happen in trying to understand what we're facing. Because growing up in California, from Los Angeles to San Francisco to Oroville and Sacramento, I haven't went anywhere where there wasn't some sign of racism and some police brutality and some murdering of people of color.